The year is 1987. The city of Las Vegas is the city of champions, tying the 1971 Bucks as the quickest expansion to champion franchise of all time across every major sport. Michael Jordan reigned supreme over the basketball world at 24 years old, averaging 36 points per game in the 4-0 sweep over the Washington Bullets, winning his first Finals MVP. In the first 2 years of Fortune basketball, Jordan's heliocentric style of basketball did not seem like a winning style of basketball. There was no doubt that Jordan was one of the best, if not the best, player on the planet, but the Fortune simply didn't have any success. In Jordan's rookie and sophomore campaigns, the Fortune went 60-104 under head coach Zach Battle. Expectations going into the season were low, and rumors began of Jordan wanting out. The Lakers-Celtics rematch seemed inevitable. However, the front office put together a string of beautiful decisions to swing Vegas into contention. They made multiple trades, dropping from the number 4 pick to the number 9 pick in the process, picking up more future assets in the process. Then, they picked up Del Curry, the guy that they wanted at number 4. After a slow 6-11 start, Zach Battle was out as head coach, and with no budget, Franklin Hunt was hired as the interim head coach, a man with no NBA coaching experience. While it seemed like a poor decision, Hunt went 40-25 down the stretch, leading the Fortune to the promised land. The move that pushed the Fortune over the edge happened at the trade deadline, and they traded Sidney Green and 2 first-round picks to Cleveland for Cliff Robinson. Michael Jordan finally has his running mate. As for the larger NBA picture, the Lakers-Celtics rivalry was on what looked to be a downward trajectory. Both franchises missed their respective conference finals, and their stars were only getting older. As the 87-88 season arrives, the question becomes, has the NBA entered a post-Bird Magic rivalry era? And if so, is Las Vegas the new dynasty? Alright, welcome back to episode 3 of the Las Vegas Fortune franchise. We are heading into the 1987-88 season, coming off of a championship run. Hopefully this is the first of many. We need to make sure that we re-sign Franklin Hunt as our head coach. There is no world that, even though he's an interim head coach with 0 stars, that we let him walk in the offseason. Obviously, just with the 1-year deal, we need to go find him in the staff signing, which I'm assuming nobody's going to go after him because of his 0 star, because it is 2K. Obviously, if you're coming off of a championship, odds are somebody would go after you. As we have, I believe, our first big retirement in the save. Nate Archibald calls it a career. Obviously, everybody, I try and extend their career by 1 year. I've already done that for him. And so obviously in this save, he hasn't been the best because he's been on the back end of his career. Obviously a very storied career for Nate Archibald. He's wanted 2 players to get his jersey retired in the offseason. In a historic rule change, the top 3 picks are now done via a random weighted draw. This is just a slightly different version of the rules we've had the last couple years. And obviously coming off a championship, we have the number 24 pick. And obviously we're going to be giving Franklin Hunt a 4-year deal. We're going to bring him back long term, and he is more than welcome to go and sign his own assistant head coach. AKA, I don't know why on this game, I cannot figure out how to get to the assistant coaches. So, I don't know. I might just be dumb. So heading into this draft, looking at the roster, I think I either want to get some shooting guard depth or a young big man. Our youngest big man is 25 in Tim McCormick. And Michael Jordan, obviously, if he goes down, we go to a 69 overall, 31-year-old Alvin Scott as our starter. So I think those are going to be the 2 things that I focus on with the 24th pick. Obviously, I can only take who's still around, so we'll just read who's around at that point. David Robinson goes number 1 overall to the Atlanta Hawks. Reggie Miller goes number 2 to the Phoenix Suns. Norm Nixon gets traded to the Clippers for the number 3 overall pick. The Clippers are now going to take Kenny Smith. I think I might have read that trade wrong. I could be wrong, but Kenny Smith is going to the Clippers. Scottie Pippen's going to the Cavs with the number 4 pick, and we will round out with the number 5 pick, Reggie Lewis going to the Kings. Kevin Johnson's a very notable player, getting taken at number 7. Horace Grant gets taken at number 8. Mark Jackson goes at number 12. Bugsy Bogues goes at number 15. And that's about it that I recognize as being very notable. Obviously, if you saw somebody else that I missed, there may be some that I did miss. And we are getting to the point in the draft where there might not necessarily be a lot of real players to choose from. Obviously, Chris Dudley is here. Tellis Frank is here as well. 2 big men that I did not scout at all, but Western Kentucky and Yale's where they played basketball. 7'5" wingspan. I'm more than likely going to take one of these 2 bigs just because I don't see a good guard. Scott Brooks is here, but I mean, he's a point guard. I think this is an auto-generated guy. Maybe not. Barcelonius. I don't know how to say that. I'm going to look up how to say that if we draft him. That is a bigger need than the center. The center is just more of a want than a need. All right, I just looked it up. Strunas Marshallonis is how you pronounce his name, at least according to the Golden State Warriors, who had a video on him a couple years ago. We're going to go ahead and take him to be our, hopefully, backup shooting guard for the next couple years from Lithuania, 6'5", 200 pounds, and I believe we also have the last pick in the draft. Just kidding. We have pick number 16 in the second round here. So we're going to go ahead. Tellis Frank is still here. We're just going to go ahead and take him to wrap up our draft. Tellis Frank comes in at a 70 overall based on where he was drafted. Pretty solid pick. And Marcellonis, 71 overall. I mean, 71, 72's left. He was the best available player left when you look at the second round. Well, I guess Jerry Livingston was back. Best available real player. But those are our 2 draft picks for this year. Obviously, drafting this late into the draft, we didn't even get any value out of these guys moving forward. That is more than worth the pick. Obviously, no doubt, we're bringing back Michael Jordan, and Rafael Addison is also going to come back. After 1 year, didn't necessarily get to see a lot from him. 25 minutes per game, not the best scoring, box score type of guy. He played 72 games, but I feel like we need to see more of him before we make a decision on him. Sam Vincent is a restricted free agent. We're going to go ahead and send him an offer. Lex Fisher, we are going to let walk. So on roster, obviously we need to get a point guard. That will be Sam Vincent, and preferably maybe another small forward. I know that we have rights on a couple players out in free agency, and then another center. We need to get back Cliff Robinson for sure. I mean, obviously Rod Higgins would be nice to get back. He's our small forward that we have rights on. Cliff Robinson is coming back. I'm willing to overpay him a little bit if need be. He wanted 1.1. Well, expected was 1.01. I'm giving him 1.1 a year. Rod Higgins, I'm more than happy to bring back on that deal. Mark West is not interested in negotiating with the Fortune, so we're going to have to find a new center moving forward, which is fine by me. We're just going to go ahead and lock in our 2 guys. We'll go and get Sam Vincent in a moment. Okay, so I did have to skip a couple days because I never want to spend money I don't have or end up losing a guy that I really want for a guy I kind of want. So now in centers, Tree Rollins is available, Mark Eaton's available, so 2 80+ overalls are in budget. Rebounding wise, I want to get a good rebounder. Mark West would be the best value overall wise and rebounding wise. Next best is Randy Buer, who has A- rebounding. Obviously rebounding is very important in this game, but also just basketball wise it's very important. But I also think Mark Eaton might be worth it. Thing is, he is 30. I think Randy Buer is worth going and getting for a 2-year, $330 a year. I think that works for me. We're going to throw a contract at Sam Vincent, in which he will sign, and Randy Buer is going to mull over some things for a little bit before signing. And now we have our roster. We are at 15, so we are fine. We don't need to cut anybody. Progression would be awesome here. See if we can get Del Curry to progress. See if Cliff Robinson stays at his overall. I know he is a little bit older. Michael Jordan goes up 2 to a 96. Del Curry goes up 4 to an 81. He could pass Cliff Robinson as the number 2. Cliff Robinson's at 27 years old, probably at his peak. Del Curry could pass him within the next year. Rafael Addison goes up 3 as well. Sam Vincent goes up 4. This is a great year for progression. ML Carr and Alvin Scott are falling off, so I'm very happy that we got Marcellonis here in the first round of the draft and wait to go get a shooting guard to get a want over a need. All right, here's our rotation to start off the season here. We're gonna run 10 with Franklin Hunt. The one thing I don't like about Franklin Hunt is that he does not want to start Del Curry alongside Michael Jordan. He wants to start Rafael Addison. I would rather start Del Curry. Obviously, as the season goes on, the computer's going to make adjustments. Rafael Addison's probably going to start. I think it might just be a defense thing, to be honest. I don't really know their stats off the top of my head like that. I mean, A+ perimeter defense for Rafael Addison is probably why he starts right next to Michael Jordan, another great defender. But I want Del Curry out there. I want the scoring. I want the shooting ability. And yeah, we're going to run a 10-man rotation. Marcellonis and Tellis Frank, our 2 rookies, are not going to get playing time to start the season off. Obviously, there's going to be injuries as the season goes on. So eventually they'll get their shot, but they are not going to start in our rotation, which just shows how far this team has gone. So hopefully we stay healthy and we can just sim. This team's coming off a championship. It should be able to be another playoff team that we don't have to make a bunch of moves at the trade deadline. So hopefully these seasons start to get a little bit quicker until, we have to rebuild in hopefully 20, 30 years. 2 games in the season, I had just hit pause and we lose Michael Jordan for 4 to 6 weeks. Marcellonis is going to get his opportunity, and I want Rafael Addison for my defensive presence in the starting lineup. He now has to take on the number one option for the other team game after game. So I want him, and I want Del Curry scoring off the bench. But Marciulionis, after 2 games, is getting his shot. Michael Jordan goes down for 4 to 6 weeks. Now, this game's been weird. The last couple injuries have not lasted the whole length. So hopefully this injury does not last the full time, and we're just going to keep simming until he gets back. All right, the Michael Jordan effect. He's finally back. He wants to start Del Curry also, so 2 wins right there. But we're 4-7 now because Michael Jordan, he missed 2.5 weeks. So, we still have more than enough time to get back. But yeah, that's what happens when you lose your best player for a significant amount of time, and we immediately jump right back up. So we will be fine. So we've reached the 1987-1988 trade deadline, and Norm Nixon being traded for the number 3 pick is the biggest computer trade that we've seen in this save. Obviously, there are some names here, Alvin Adams and Mike Kaminsky, guys that are recognizable that have been traded, but nothing as big as Norm Nixon being traded. But at the trade deadline, we're not a team that needs to make any moves. 29-11. Alvin Scott's our only player that isn't under contract for at least 1 more year. We're giving him a 3-year extension, and yeah, everybody's under contract at least or is not eligible. Magic Johnson is still the leader in votes, beating out Michael Jordan at this current moment. The Lakers have the top 2 vote getters, at least out west, and in the league. Akeem Olajuwon with the Bulls, he has become an absolute dominant force in this league. He's probably one of the best players in the league alongside Michael Jordan. That has just become an elite draft class, as it did in real life. But we're just going to continue simming. Like I said, hopefully these seasons get shorter and shorter. We don't have to spend as much time, and we can get 2 or 3 seasons done. And hopefully it's not a 45-minute video. And hopefully the only reason it's a 45-minute video is because we go like 6 or 7 seasons. But Michael Jordan gets injured again for 2 to 4 weeks. And Marciulionis, who has played well in Michael Jordan's absence, he's played pretty solid, has to step in. 44-16. We should be fine. We have already made the playoffs, so we are okay. And now it's just sim and hope we can stay healthy. And so we've hit the end of the season. We did stay healthy. We missed a couple guys for like 1 or 2 weeks, but we are, I believe, fully healthy right now. On the screen right now, you'll see the award winners from the actual 1987-98 season. This was the year Michael Jordan won his first MVP, and he does not do it in this save, as Akeem Olajuwon wins, I believe, his first. Yes, it is his first. Sorry, it has been a little bit since I've touched this save. It is his first. Rookie of the Year goes to David Robinson. Mark Jackson actually won this in real life. I believe David Robinson may have had to miss a year to go to the military. I could be wrong about that. I know he went to school Navy. I just don't remember. I probably should just check to see if he won it the next year. He did not win it the next year. So he genuinely either got snubbed or just didn't win it. But David Robinson, 22-12 a night, wins him Rookie of the Year. Marquise Johnson wins Kia's 6th Man of the Year. I don't know why I said Kia for that one specifically. Akeem Olajuwon wins. Terry Porter wins Most Improved Player of the Year. Otis Newman wins Coach of the Year. I thought Franklin Hunt potentially had a chance to do it. 64-18 is pretty close to what our record was, at least the last I saw. And we won Executive of the Year. Our team, I haven't been tracking this. I think this is our first. So yeah, I guess Jeffrey Temple is our GM, or yeah, I guess executive. I don't know. I don't know how to change him anymore. I did for like 1 year. Michael Jordan wins All-NBA first team, and we have nobody on the All-NBA second team. Daryl Griffith on the Warriors wins an All-NBA second team. That is a surprising one to see. He's kind of had a career resurgence in this save at Golden State. Michael Jordan is on the All-Defensive first team as well. Here's a look at the All-Defensive second team, and we did not have anybody on an All-Rookie team, which is to be expected. I don't think our rookies got enough to even qualify. Finished with a record of 61-21, and we're the number 1 seed out west. We have been the front runner all season long. Michael Jordan leads the team once again in points per game. This is his first season ever, I believe, underneath 30 points per game. It's still elite scoring, probably towards the top 5 of the league, but it is his lowest scoring output of his career. But I think that's more of a testament to Del Curry's growth, Cliff Robinson's growth, or just the team's growth when it comes to having scorers on the roster. Cliff Robinson is our leading rebounder. Johnny Moore is our assist leader. Michael Jordan leads in steals per game. And Randy Brewer, our off-season signing, leads our team in blocks with 1.8. And no doubt in my mind this is going to happen. Michael Jordan is our leader in PER. This is actually his highest PER of his career of 35.4. This probably leads the league also. This is number 2. Okay, he didn't play. So Michael Jordan actually does lead the league in PER as well, and this is the 2nd or 3rd time he's done it in his 4-year career. Patrick Ewing is number 2. As for normal just averages. Michael Jordan is the leading scorer, so scoring is down the league. I mean, he's far. There's a 4-point gap between him and Daryl Griffith, who makes sense why he was on the All-NBA second team. He was the second leading scorer in the league. Moses Malone is the leading rebounder. John Stockton, the only guy over 10 assists a night at almost 11. Michael Jordan leads the league in steals per game, and David Robinson leads in blocks per game. So like I said, we are fully healthy right now. I'm going to keep a 10-man rotation to start. We're going to be playing the Clippers in the first round. These are rounds of 5, so first to 3. I'm more saying that so that I remember it. Obviously, Jules King is really the only guy we have to focus on. Purvis Short as well. But Del Curry, Purvis Short match up pretty well. That would be the matchup to watch when it comes to overalls. Kenny Smith, the rookie point guard. Matching up with Johnny Moore, that's also a good matchup to watch. But I think this is one that we should dominate. Start up 1-0, go up 2-0. They take game 3, and we win in 4. Hoping that they would make things interesting, and they did not. Now, Golden State is a lot better team. This is a solid challenge. We obviously have the best player in the matchup, but Daryl Griffith is a really solid player. Sleepy Floyd's a really solid player. I mean, all 5 of these guys are really solid players. This isn't a great matchup for us. This might be where we have to shorten our rotation. But we win game 1, and Johnny Moore, with a hip injury, he can play through. We win game 2. This could be another sweep. We lose Rod Higgins for the rest of the season. That is fine. They want to start Rafael Addison. I'm okay with the change there. I am going to make it a 9-man rotation. Johnny Moore is going to continue to play. And we sweep the Golden State Warriors in 4, taking on the Portland Trailblazers, a rematch of last year. We will have a new opponent in the finals, as the Bullets have been eliminated, and Fat Lever, Clyde Drexler, matchup to watch with Michael Jordan. Those two of the best in the league. But Fat Lever could make things interesting at an 88 overall, much better than Johnny Moore. And we lose game 1, tie it up 1-1, go up 2-1 after game 3, go up 3-1, and that might have just been a slow game 1 for us as we go win in 5. Del Curry's also injured, so we are a little beat up. We're playing the Chicago Bulls, we're playing Hakeem Olajuwon. This is the next era of basketball right here. Fortune and the Bulls, Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon. These are 2 of the best teams, probably the best teams in the league. I mean, both the 1 seeds. I did not check the East standings. I mean, we have a 4-game lead on the 2 seed, and it's really just us and Portland. You go out east, and I don't know why the Knicks have the 2 seed. Oh, probably because of the divisions, but they have a 6-game lead on Milwaukee, and that's really the only 2 teams. So there's really only 4 teams right now: Chicago, Milwaukee, Portland, and us. So these are the teams moving forward. This is the next era of basketball, and we are a part of it with Michael Jordan. Can we have a back-to-back? We win game 1, lose game 2. Johnny Moore has healed, and then game 3 win. 2-2. This is a matchup. I'm going to shorten the rotation real quick. I don't want to go below an 8-man rotation because I do believe that I have a very solid rotation, probably the best 8-man rotation in the league. I don't think anybody else can match our depth. Up 3-2, I am going to simcast because I messed up last time and I did not get pitchers on the court, which made me so upset. Just in case we hop in, I am also going to put the headset on, so you'll see me take it on and off throughout this video. As a very close back-to-back game, we are controlling the game here, and we are going to win this game, assuming nothing crazy happens here with 3 minutes left. I'm going to hop in with a little bit less time, about a minute left. All right, so I'm going to leave the era filter on. I might take it off later, but I do like the era filter here. This game, we're going to win. Michael Jordan taking the ball out, couple possessions to watch here, and yeah, we're already just dribbling the clock out here with 15 seconds left. That's an interesting set. 1-4 low is a very interesting set to run with the end of the game here, but this is the first time we've seen the court live because I forgot to jump into last year's finals, and this is going to be the last possession. I would assume because of the era settings, yeah, they're not going to try and force up a 3. And they're just going to dribble out the clock here. I guess there is another possession, so we will have to watch one more possession of basketball. Oh, good God, okay. I was just kind of zoned out waiting for it. We just threw a design lob for Michael Jordan, just rubbing it in. I would love to see what Michael Jordan's stats were for this game here. But yeah, once we get the ball, I'm going to turn off my camera, and we're just going to live in the moment here. As they throw up a 3, it does not go. Of course, we don't box out here, so we're not going to end with the ball. But, yeah, here we go. We are back-to-back champions.
All the travel, all the practices, all the meetings, all losses, the emotion, the exhaustion culminating into tonight.
And whenever you win the NBA championship, there is a level of accomplishment and excitement that really can't be matched. Pretty amazing to have accomplished this goal.
The celebration is here, and this place is going crazy. The bench loves it. The fans obviously overjoyed. This is one of those moments these players will never forget. And we've enjoyed bringing you.
And so you saw it right there. Michael Jordan, back-to-back finals MVP, 41 points in the closeout game. Cliff Robinson, 38 and 14 in the closeout game against Akeem Olajuwon. That is big numbers for him. A 6-game series win by Jordan, 37, 8 and 8, and this is our era of basketball. A 15 and 4 run to the finals through the playoffs gives us our back-to-back, and yeah, this team is built to win year over year. This is our era of basketball. Obviously, Michael Jordan is still lacking the Defensive Player of the Year awards and the MVP awards that he has in real life. He's already got 2 of his championships. He's 2-0. He's already building that legacy. This is our era of basketball. I cannot say it enough. I don't think this team's going anywhere anytime soon. I'm gonna be honest. I'm also not gonna change the logo until we lose, until we don't make the finals. I'm not changing the logo. I have logos set for every era, and I was gonna do it by like decades. But this logo, this setup is winning us championships. I'm not gonna change it. And Bob McAdoo and former Las Vegas Fortune Truck Robinson retired. They are the notable names that retired here. Truck Robinson never suited up for a game for us, but was drafted in our expansion draft. And yeah, so we sent him to Milwaukee, if I remember correctly. I'm getting my years wrong. We sent him to Dallas. We drafted him, sent him to Dallas. His career is over. I think we got good value out of the trade. So thank you for your service. You're like 2 months in Las Vegas. We're very appreciated and set us on the right path to win 2 championships in 4 years. Dan Issel was actually the only player to get his jersey retired, and there was nobody that made the Hall of Fame there. So 2 expansion teams come into the league, the Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets. And I guess I didn't notice there's only 2 officials on the court. There's now going to be a 3rd moving forward. But this is big. These are 2 expansion teams. This is the first time we've had to protect some of our players. This could change things a little bit where we need to be a little bit more aggressive in this offseason. We do need to make some decisions on who to keep. Obviously, we're going to approve both of the historic rule changes. I do want to accept this. I think this is a really good rule change that the NBA added, but obviously I want to keep everything kind of historic, kind of realistic, at least for now. As we get closer to like the 2000s and we have 20 years worth of a say of being like throwing stuff off, I might do some of that, but as right now I want to keep it somewhat realistic. Here are your new conferences moving forward. Obviously the Midwest has not split yet into 2 conferences. We are in the Pacific, which is I believe where we were. It makes sense that we would be there. And yeah, there's 2 new teams in the Central Conference, not conference, divisions in the conferences. It's late, I'm tired. Yeah, whatever, not excuses. But yeah, that is our new setup. We're going to have the number 26 pick. I don't think we have any of our extra picks quite yet. I know I traded some for Cliff Robinson, which has very much been worth it because we got 2 rings out of it. But we still only have the 1 first-round pick. And this is the next important part. I don't know where Michael Jordan is. So at least we don't have to protect him. But where is he? He is a restricted free agent, so we're okay. But that helps us out, honestly, because then we can protect somebody else. Like Marcelonis, I think is a good guy to protect. The only guy that we're losing here is Tellus Frank, but he didn't do anything. So if you want to take him, it sucks. We'll have to go get another power forward, but I'd rather keep a guy like Kurt Rambis that has at least proved something to us this year. Even though he's becoming less and less productive, he's at least proved that he can do something on an NBA court. Pete Verhoeven, same thing as Tellus Frank, hasn't done anything, at least this year for us lately. So I think what the computer gave me makes sense. We also need to think about if Sam Vincent doesn't make that next jump, do we have to get a point guard moving forward here soon because Johnny Moore is going to be on the wrong side of 30. However, I think that is an issue that we don't necessarily need to worry about because he is still progressing. But I like what I see here. This is who we'll roll with. So the computer, I believe, is going to do it by themselves, but Brad Davis goes to the Heat. Nate McMillan goes to the Heat. I'm just going to read off names that I can for sure recognize. We lose Pete Verhoeven to the Hornets. So that is our first player off the board. I think they can only take one, maybe a second one. I think that's why there's so many like auto-generated players now being taken. So I think Verhoeven is going to be our only guy that we lose, and I'm going to say that's probably correct just because of the amount of auto-generated guys that I'm seeing right now. These are all auto-generated guys from here on out, so these teams are going to be really bad. But Pete Verhoeven is our only guy that we lose, and he's going to Charlotte. That sucks, but it is what it is. Thank you for your 2 rings and your 4 years of service to the Fortune. Michael Jordan's back, so, you know, it is what it is. I would gladly trade Pete Verhoeven to make sure that I still have Michael Jordan's rights. But yeah, the last 4 years obviously came in as our starting power forward, I believe, and his role has gotten smaller and smaller. He was not even a role player last year, so sad to see him go because it is a guy that we drafted in our expansion draft, so, you know, always sucks, but I'd rather lose him than somebody more important. As for the actual draft, I think once again, we potentially look at a big man, potentially another point guard, because Sam Vincent is already 25. So by the time he becomes our starting point guard, he might already almost be 30. So we might need to think about a third option for him. We could also try and trade away the pick, but I don't know if we'll get any value there. So Houston with the number 1 pick takes Danny Manning from Kansas, power forward. I can't think of who is on Houston's roster as of right now in this save, obviously with Hakeem in Chicago. Atlanta takes Mitch Richmond, number 2, shooting guard from Kansas State. Rick Smits goes to Cleveland, which he played in Indiana. Why do I feel like he spent time in Cleveland? Yeah, so he was a career pacer. I don't know what I'm thinking of. This is why I started double checking before I just completely move on. John Starks goes to Charlotte, the New York Knicks legend. Is he a legend? Is he? John Starks did something. My brain is blanking on it. He is of importance in Knicks history, and I should know why, and I'm blanking, so hopefully when I'm editing I remember what. And Chris Morris goes to Miami, so that is their first 2 picks in their franchise history. Now we will sim to our pick. Charles Smith goes number 6 to the Suns. Hershey Hawkins goes number 7 to the Jazz. Ronnie Seekley, I should know how to say his name, but you know who I'm talking about, goes to the Sonics at 8. Dan Marsley goes to the Nets. And yeah, I should have kept going a little bit farther. Rod Strickland goes number 12 to the Clippers. Rex Chapman, 13 to the Kings. And is that Nope, that's not Horace Grant. That's Harvey Grant. Goes to the Bullets at number 18. Will Purdue goes to the Lakers at 21. And we are here. Vernon Maxwell. There you go. We got one more. Vernon Maxwell goes to the Cavs at number 22. We have pick number 26. Vernon Maxwell would have been super nice. Kevin Edwards is potentially a guy we look at. Ceiling as a starter. That's okay, because he should be a backup for a very long time for us. Steve Kerr's here, Avery Johnson's here. I am looking at point guards. Brian Shaw is here as well. I would love to take Steve Kerr. I know he played with Michael Jordan in real life, and I do want to avoid just making this like a Bulls team, which I think I've done a good job of. But I mean, I feel like it just makes sense. It is a little bit of a reach though, which makes me want to try and trade back potentially a couple of spots, just because I know, okay, I don't know why I can't trade that pick. That's fine. Then I'm okay with just taking the guy I want in Steve Kerr. We know what Steve Kerr is going to be. He's a shooter. I'm okay with getting Steve Kerr and Del Curry on the court at the same time. I think that is going to be awesome with Michael Jordan coming in, as well as Rafael Addison as 2 defenders that, hey, we sub in and out with that between shooting and defending. I think that's just a great combo to have. So Steve Kerr, 6'1", 180 from Arizona. Welcome to the squad. And this ends up being our only pick in the draft. So I'm kind of curious, did we reach for Steph Curry? Just said Steph Curry. Steve Kerr, 71 overall. There's a couple 71s that went all the way down towards the bottom of the draft. Kevin Edwards was a 72. Defensive menace potentially was a guy we should have looked into more than just brushed by. It is what it is. I'm happy with Steve Kerr if he ends up being my starting point guard at some point, or even if it's just my career backup. Team player options, we're going to bring back Tellus Frank, even though we haven't seen anything from him. Yeah, we just need to bring him back, see if he can crack the rotation. Now, obviously, we're going to bring back Del Curry. Michael Jordan's getting qualified offer, as well as Rafael Addison. Only goal of the offseason is to get those 2 guys back on roster. I don't think we even need anything else. I mean, Michael Jordan, you can own the franchise. I'm okay with that. No trade clauses aren't a thing yet. You can have a player option. I don't care. Here you go. Keys to Las Vegas. And mission accomplished. Rod Higgins, I do want to keep you as well. That's why I had your rights. I don't know why I blinked that you were on the team. That makes me feel bad. And you want a minimum. Yeah, come back to Vegas. You're not going anywhere. We got our 3 guys, and that's all we needed to do. Please tell me I can do this. Perfect. Michael Jordan has a $10 million deal. I wonder if that's the first $10 million deal in the league. And he's a little bit short. Now that I looked at it, he was a little bit short, but he might be, him and Hakeem are the first like near $10 million guys. John Stockton just signed an extension, 5 years, $12 million. Depending on the dates those were signed, John Stockton was probably the first $10 million man in NBA history. But interesting, very interesting to see how contracts have grown. Player progression, obviously, we are starting to hit our peaks as a team. Michael Jordan at a 97. I don't know if it hit 99. I don't know how often my league lets people hit 99. Clearly, I haven't played a lot of 2K this year. Rafael Addison goes up 2. Dell Curry goes up 1. Marcelonis goes up 4 to 75, so he's going to be a member of the full-time rotation. Tellus Frank goes up 2 to 72, and obviously our two aging, at this point, legends. I mean, you have 2 rings, right? I mean, he was a legend in Detroit and Boston. I don't know if he'd be a Hall of Famer. Emil Carr down to 61. I did force him to stay for an extra year, so he's probably a little bit upset about that. And so 10-man rotation once again to start the season. Franklin Hunt's running back in year 3, I guess year 2 of being the head coach, with 1 year of being the interim coach. 10-man rotation as Randy Brewer is our starting center. I believe he was last year as well. But yeah, Steve Kerr is not going to be in the rotation to start. Tim McCormick's not going to be in the rotation to start. Kurt Rambis is barely holding on to minutes. And we'll see how the season goes. Honestly, this team now I'm feeling a little less confident in. I don't know why. I just have a feeling this team's not going to be as good. But I don't know. I'm hoping that it's just being superstitious and thinking 2K is going to come up with some cheese to make it so that we don't win. Hopefully we stay healthy. Hopefully. That is the big thing, especially Michael Jordan. We need him to stay healthy. And once again, this first Friday of the season, somebody always gets hurt. Sam Vincent gets hurt. I'm happy we went ahead and got Steve Kerr. He's not getting minutes, and I don't like that. We're going to take Tellus Frank's minutes because we need to see what Steve Kerr can do as a point guard, because Sam Vincent, I mean, a torn MCL in this era could potentially be career changing. It's not like the modern day where that's like you're just kind of slow for a little bit. That might be not necessarily career ending, but career changing. All right, it's like late December. We are 500. Michael Jordan goes down with a strained hip for 4 to 6 weeks. That is not good. Marcelonis has to start, which is, I mean, it's fine. Marcelonis is, kind of a good player, like good enough that I'm comfortable with him starting. Steve Kerr in 12 minutes played pretty solid, shooting 67% from 3. Sure, I'm not a lot of attempts right now, but Marcelonis, I mean, 10.8. I mean, he could be in the most improved race this season. Also, I forgot to look at the award races last year, and that's my fault, but it is what it is. But I think I got too stagnant with this roster, and I think I need to make some moves. So I'm putting together a package of Sam Vincent, Rod Higgins, Kurt Rambis. The second round pick is not part of it, just to see what's out there. I think these are 3 guys that we can potentially go without. Kurt Rambis, I think it's time to move on from him. I think we can get that rebounding elsewhere. Rod Higgins just doesn't really have a role. And Sam Vincent potentially could be replaced by Steve Kerr. I think Sam Vincent, if I'm going to pull anybody from this trade package, it'll be Sam Vincent. And so far, I'm not really seeing anything that I want to move Sam Vincent for. I'm going to go ahead and take him out of the trade offer. But outside that, those other 2 guys, they're going to be who I shop. I think Greg Kite potentially could be a guy that we could go out and get, but 27 years old, I don't know if he's going to be around for the long term. This is something that also interests me. I've seen this a couple times. Anthony Bowie could move to be a wing. He's got okay potential, but really that first round pick is what interests me. I think I can do that elsewhere. Will Perdue. This is interesting because Will Perdue is already almost as good of a rebounder as Kurt Rambis. We get a first round pick with him, A- potential. I think this is what I'm going to do. 23-year-old plus first round pick. I see nothing wrong with this trade. I'm going to go ahead and make this trade. Obviously, I've been trying to avoid just making moves to make moves. So I think this is something that we got stagnant. We need to make a change in the core, especially the back half of our rotation. So Rod Higgins, a guy that was kind of falling out of rotation, as well as Kurt Rambis, a guy that was barely holding on to our rotation, to get a young center in Will Perdue and a first round pick. I think it makes sense. Here are the other trades that have happened this year so far. At least this one happened last year. A couple of these happened last year. But yeah, a couple of trades. I'm happy I'm not the only person that's trading players around. So Will Perdue immediately is going to step in. Potentially could move Tim McCormick as well. However, I think I'm going to stay put. Again, trying to avoid just making trades and make trades. I think we are totally fine. So Tim McCormick and Johnny Moore, I just gave extensions to because they already wanted them. We lose Rafael Addison for 1 to 2 weeks. Michael Jordan should be back soon. We are 17-17. I'm going to get to the trade deadline real quick. And on the trade deadline, Michael Jordan's actually back. So we are totally fine. 19-19. Obviously not as dominant as we were before. The Lakers are back. So maybe I jumped the gun on saying that this is our era. The new era is here. I don't know. I'm fine with staying and simming. I'm going to sim through this day, actually. We got a win on the 20th. As looking at the transaction report, there were no other trades to report. I'm going to be looking at the award races real quick, which Michael Jordan's not even on here. No rookies on here because we have a late pick. No sixth man of the year. He's not even on the DPOY either. I'm hoping he's still an all-star. He's number 3 on voting. He has fallen off a little bit. We have nobody else still, and that just shows how bad of a season is. I'm kind of speechless because I thought that we were still going to be fine. I think we still will be fine, which is why I'm just pushing ahead, but obviously not as dominant as our last year. So Johnny Moore, Michael Jordan, Cliff Robinson all get hurt with like 2 to 4 week injuries that they can play through. We finally get them all healthy. Rafael Addison, once again, right knee tendonitis. But yeah, we just can't stay healthy this year, and that is what's really hurting us this year. 39-30. Like I said, I think I would be surprised. I would be surprised if we already like clinched. We should be fine. Okay, Michael Jordan out 1 to 2 weeks. I'm hoping it's the shortest week of all time because we need to win. Perfect. He can play. Get him back in. He can play. We've secured a winning record, and I should not be sweating out making the playoffs coming off of 2 straight championships. But this is what's been happening. We're just like, injuries are just piling up, and I don't know if it's something I'm doing or if it's just like injuries. I don't know. But we are going to finish the season 45-37. On screen will be the true award winners from the 1988-89 season. Magic Johnson wins MVP just like he did in real life. Chris Morris wins Rookie of the Year over Mitch Richmond. Marquise Johnson wins Sixth Man of the Year. Eddie Johnson, a different Johnson, won in real life. Mark Eaton was the Defensive Player of the Year. Hakeem Olajuwon just owns this award, so I'm going to assume he gets it every single year at this point. Quincy Bryant wins Most Improved. Brad Nelson, Coach of the Year. The Lakers are back. The Lakers are very back. I think I jumped the gun on saying that their era was over. Michael Jordan, still on the All-NBA first team. Still the only guy winning awards. So the All-NBA third team was added in the 1989 season. So Michael Jordan on the All-Defensive first team as well, and he's still the only award winner that we get year over year. Fully down year, Michael Jordan, 26 points per game. Cliff Robinson, 9.5 rebounds a game. Johnny Moore, 8.4 assists per game. Michael Jordan, 2 steals a game. Randy Brewer, 1.6 blocks per game. Michael Jordan with PER 31, even with his numbers down. PER of 31. We are the 6th seed, by the way. As you can see, 2 teams that I said own this era are the 3 and the 6th seed right now. Yeah, I might have jumped the gun on that. It is what it is. Karl Malone leads in points per game. Bill Laimbeer rebounds per game. Mark Price is the only one over 10 assists per game. 2.2 steals. Fat Lever knocks off Michael Jordan as the steals leader. Patrick Ewing and Hakeem Olajuwon tie as the block champ at 2.9, and PER is Karl Malone. Michael Jordan is not even, oh, he's number 3rd. I missed him. He's number 3. Michael Jordan is number 3, but Karl Malone and Magic Johnson beat him out. I'm gonna pause here, so we'll finish this later. So this is part 1 of this video.